Hey there, howdy friends, welcome back to the channel. MrAyrit here. Today we're talking dongles. Specifically, I've got the Hidiz S9 Pro Plus dongle, okay? So this is just a little USB dongle. It's pretty comparable size to something like the Don Pro. And you know what? It's hard to review these dongles, right? Like, they're so similar in so many ways, but I do think there are some differences between these two that I'm gonna point out to you. And there was one aspect of the S9 Pro Plus that really impressed me, so stick around to find out what that is. I think you'll be as surprised as I was. Okay, so as far as a USB dongle goes, it's pretty a basic affair, right? You've got a 4.4 balance, you got a 3.5 millimeter on there, USB-C on the other end. Of course, it comes with a USB-C to USB-C cable, but you know, if you want a lightning, you're on your own for that, like so many of these things, unfortunately. But you know, iPhones are moving away from that, thank goodness. So pretty soon we'll all be USB-C and we can just forget about all these little adapter issues and things like that. It's a handsome looking unit. It reminds me of some of the, like a BTR5 type finish, right? It's kind of like a glass finish on each side. Fingerprint magnet, for sure. I would prefer just like a matte finish myself. I mean, this feels nice, but it gets so marked up, you know? It's just, it is what it is, right? You've got just volume buttons on the side. It's very simple operation. This is not hardware-based volume control, okay? So this is gonna be, whether you're pushing these buttons or whether you're using your phone or whether you're using your computer, all of them just control digitally the volume, right? It's not like the Don Pro where this thing has its own kind of volume control inside of it as well as the device amplification. So I personally don't like that. I like having a little more versatility and control like the Don Pro has, but you know, it works fine. What else can I say about this? Let's talk specs a little bit. I mean, it has reasonable power for a dongle DAC, right? You're talking something like 140 milliwatts at 32 ohms out of the 3.5 and around like 180 milliwatts out of the 4.4. This is a balanced design. It uses the ES9038Q2M high performance DAC chip, if you care about that. You know, PCM 32768. DSD up to 512. It's got some of those high-res bit rates if you're interested in that sort of thing. Yeah, so I think that's it. Let's dive into sound and just kind of overall like use. Again, using it's a dongle. There's not much to it. It's very lightweight, so it doesn't get in the way a whole heck of a lot, even though it's dangling from like a little cord on your phone. Desktop, you know, you just set it on your desk, no big deal there. As far as the sound goes, I would call this a very crisp, clear sound. It's pretty linear sound, I would say, whereas the Don Pro, I think, is a little more flavorful, a little more maybe forward in its presentation. Going back and forth between them, I would tell you that it's pretty rare that I was disappointed going to the Don Pro from this, but sometimes when I went from the Don Pro to the S9 Pro Plus, I kind of felt like I was missing a little something, but then I would kind of settle into it. So I think it's one of those things is like, you kind of get used to whichever one you're listening to more. As far as the deficits go, the only real notes would be like, the Don Pro, when it's missing, I feel like it gets like a little smeary and kind of lacks a little bit of detail. I would say the S9 Pro Plus is kind of the opposite of that, where if it's missing, it gets a little glary, right? Like on the top end and can come on a little sharp and a little harsh. But for most tracks, as long as they're reasonably well recorded, I don't have much of a problem with either of these. I was mainly listening to the Ananda Nano through these, and I was listening to my JM XTC closed with these, as well as some IEMs. And I found those results pretty similar across the board. So what can I say about the Hidiz as far as like it standing out from the packs of these dongles? Because if you're just going based on price, right, the Don Pro is almost half the price, right? This is like 50 bucks, this is like 90 bucks. So if you're going on price, I'm gonna lean towards the Don Pro. Now, here's where you might go for the S9 Pro Plus here. I made a mistake with this guy and I left it in my pocket. I think it was this shirt and it went through the laundry, right? And I hadn't recorded my review yet. I did a little bit of listening with it, but not very much. So I'm sitting here going, oh no, like this is my first time working with Hidizs, which they sent this out for review and they're letting me keep it, by the way, just FYI, so you know that. But this is the first time I've worked with this company, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna look like an idiot because I'm gonna have to tell them that I like broke it, and you know, could they send me another one, or what do they want me to do? Do I have to buy it? So anyway, I was feeling like an idiot. Well, I decided, right? Obviously, after going through the washer and dryer, I was like, the odds of this thing working is pretty minimal, but I might as well give it a try, because hopefully, you know, if it would happen to miraculously work still, then I could film this review and I wouldn't have to like contact Hidiz and tell them all this stuff. So, to my wonderful surprise, I plugged this thing in and it did not miss a beat. It worked. And worked just as good as it did before, after going through the washer and the dryer, like a full laundry cycle. And you can see how mine is like, it's a little scuffed up around the edges, which it didn't come like that, but that's from it bouncing around like in the dryer. So what does this thing have over other dongles? Well, not that I try to run my dongles through the laundry, I've never done it before, but I think the fact that this thing survived through a washing cycle lets you know that this thing is pretty darn tough. And I can't imagine what daily use case that you'd be doing that would make it worse than that. Now, just so you know, I did let this thing sit for like a couple of days afterwards just to make sure, I don't know, I guess the thought process is just like make sure all the moisture's out of it, blah, blah, although since it went through the dryer, that probably wouldn't have mattered, but yeah, what a tough little dongle. So, sound quality, adequate, power, adequate, build and all that, adequate, toughness, phenomenal, next level toughness for a dongle. And that's what I think to me stands out the most about the Hidiz, is just, it's a tough little thing, and I cannot believe that it worked after running through the washer and dryer. Thank you to Hidiz for sending this out. I appreciate that. Thanks to you guys for watching. What's your experience with this little dongle, S9 Pro Plus, or any other Hidiz things? Are they all this tough? Because that would be interesting to know that, if that's the case. So drop any and all comments down below. As always, I appreciate you being with me, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. And hopefully the next item I review, I will not have to comment on whether it survives a washing cycle or not. That's it for this one. Take care. Appreciate you. See you next time.